Jonathan Butcher is a senior policy analyst at the Heritage Foundation. Butcher was recently featured in one of the Daily Signal's Let Freedom Speak episodes, in which he explains what parents and state lawmakers should do to protect free speech on college campuses. Take a listen.
Free speech is in peril on college campuses across the country. Students need to know that they can ask hard questions, and they need to be heard. They need to know what other people's opinions are on the tough issues of the day. And that's the only way that we'll be able to develop civil society in the future. Here's what parents and state lawmakers can do to restore the pursuit of truth at our schools and colleges. I'm Jonathan Butcher, Senior Policy Analyst at the Heritage Foundation. Everyone has seen speakers shouted down on campus, and too many college students have been a part of speaker shoutdowns or disrupted events. State lawmakers should be looking at proposals that are prepared to issue consequences to those students that violate the free expression of others. Administrators need to be prepared to tell students that that is not acceptable, and students should be ready for facing suspension or expulsion if an event is disrupted. For parents, they need to look not just at the price tag of the tuition at the school when they're looking to send their child, they also should look for free speech zones or speech codes. They need to look at the campus environment before they make a choice about where to send their child to school. What's the point of attending college if you can't ask hard questions? What's the point if the First Amendment to the Constitution is not protected by those that are giving you instruction, by the professors, by the administrators? When they're adults, we're going to need to expect them to be able to handle situations that they don't agree with. It's not a college's job to protect students from ideas with which they disagree.
What the heck is trickle-down economics?
Does the military really need a space force?
What is the meaning of American exceptionalism?
I'm Michelle Cordero.
I'm Tim Descher, and every week on the Heritage Explains podcast, we break down a hot-button policy issue in the news at a 101 level.
Through an entertaining mix of personal stories, media clips, music, and interviews, we help you actually understand the issues.
So do this. Subscribe to Heritage Explains on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts today.
Thanks for sending us your letters to the editor. Each Monday, we feature our favorites in this show and in our Morning Bell email newsletter. Jarrett, who's up first?
Audrey Ricard writes, "Keep up the good work. I rely on you to give unbiased reporting and pray that you can keep your head above the fray. I can't begin to tell you how saddened and disappointed I am in our representatives in Congress. They spend more time bashing each other and the president than getting things done for our country. Shame. God bless you and the work that you're doing to keep us informed."
And Juliet Suida writes, "Thank you to Fred Lucas, Rachel Del Giudice, and the Daily Signal for keeping us up to date on this false Equality Act. This bill cannot become law. As a woman and a mother of a female collegiate athlete, the Equality Act reeks of misogyny. No woman will be safe."
Your letter could be featured on next week's show. Send an email to letters@dailysignal.com or leave a voicemail message at 202-608-6205. Every Monday, the Daily Signal starts your week with a good news story. Virginia, over to you.
Thanks, Jarrett. We've all watched anxiously as Hurricane Dorian struck the Bahamas and then headed up the East Coast. When 6-year-old Jermaine Bell heard that thousands of people were being evacuated from their homes in Florida, he told his parents that he wanted to help. In fact, he told them that he wanted to use some of the money that his parents had been saving to take him to Disney World for his 7th birthday to help those in need of assistance instead. Instead of a birthday trip to Disney World over Labor Day weekend, Jermaine and his family went to South Carolina to provide food and water for those on the evacuation route.
The people that are traveling to go to other places, I wanted them to have some food to eat so they can enjoy the ride to the place that they're going to stay at.
Jermaine served hot dogs, chips, and water to over 100 people along Highway 125 in Allendale, South Carolina. Aretha Grant, Jermaine's grandmother, said her grandson even prayed with the family that God would protect their home from the storm. Wow. Way to go, Jermaine. It is just so awesome to see someone simply taking the time to care for the people around them in such a practical way. I think this is something that we can all strive to do more often. Well, we're going to leave it there for today. The Daily Signal podcast comes to you from the Robert H. Bruce Radio Studio at the Heritage Foundation.
You can find it on the Ricochet Audio Network. All of our shows can be found at dailysignal.com/podcasts.
You can also subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or your favorite podcast app. And be sure to listen every weekday by adding the Daily Signal podcast as a part of your Alexa flash briefing.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a review and a 5-star rating. It means a lot to us and helps spread the word to other listeners.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Daily Signal and Facebook.com/The Daily Signal News.
Have a great week.
The Daily Signal podcast is executive produced by Rob Bluey and Virginia Allen. Sound design by Lauren Evans and Thalia Rampersad. For more information, visit dailysignal.com.